Compensated carry guns have become very popular, I'd say in the last couple years, and I've got two of the most popular ones here. The SIG P365 with the X Macro Comp Slide, and the brand new Shield Plus Carry Comp from Smith & Wesson. So I figured, might as well test them side by side and see which one is more effective, comp-wise. SIG, and now the Smith & Wesson. Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Compensators on pistols are nothing new really. They've been used in competition for years, for a long time. But in the last year or two, I would say, they've gotten really popular on non-competition pistols, and where I think that it makes the most sense is on carry guns. The reason why being that smaller pistols usually are snappier, and so if you have something with a compensator that, helps to control that a little bit, keeps the muzzle down and, reduces that felt recoil a little bit, then why not, right? Well, I happen to have two of the most popular carry guns. The SIG P365 series, this one has the X Macro Comp Slide, where it's just a regular barrel inside that's shorter, and the compensator is just built into the slide. And then I've got the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus Carry Comp, which has an actual compensator cut into the barrel and the slide. And so I figured it made sense to compare these two and see if you're in the market for a carry gun, which one of these compensated pistols shoots the best. This video is brought to you by Stopbox. I conceal carry every single day, but when I get home, it is nice to finally take that thing out of the holster, but you got to put it somewhere safe. I have a young daughter, so the Stopbox works very well for me. Out of the holster and into the Stopbox, but if I need it, if I'm going to go somewhere, it's that easy to get to. I thought I'd notice a bigger difference between the two than I did in that first string of fire. I'm going to try to shoot a little bit faster because that's when you should notice the compensator more. So again, we're going to start with the P365. And the Smith & Wesson. I've been carrying the SIG P365 for a long time. In fact, originally I had the regular little tiny micro P365, and I took the fire control unit out of it, put it in a Wilson Combat XL grip module, and get the X Macro Comp Slide. And this gun shoots a lot better than that little tiny P365 did, but I always kind of wondered how much of that was due to the comp and the slide, and how much was due to it just being a bigger pistol. Bigger pistols are generally easier to shoot. But I like this gun a lot. And then Smith & Wesson released the new Shield Plus Carry Comp, which is a compensated version of the Shield Plus with a 4-inch barrel. Comes with 13, 15, and 10 round magazines. And I've always been a huge fan of the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 series of handguns. And so I just had to get it. And so I've been carrying both of these. I carry this one in the daytime, mainly because it doesn't have a rail for a light. And I carry this one at night because it does have a light. I went out there today to test and compare the two of these, and I did have a preconceived notion. My preconceived notion was that this one was going to shoot softer and flatter than this one, being that it is a bigger gun, 4-inch barrel. I mean, it's just bigger in every dimension except for the actual width, and that the comp is actually built into the barrel and the slide, whereas this one, it is just in the slide. And so that was the idea I had going into this today, and I gotta say, I was actually very surprised. So if you want to see what I've found out shooting them side by side? Well, we're gonna do that right after a quick word from our channel partner. This video is sponsored by Aura. How important is privacy to you? Well, to me, it's actually very important, especially the older that I get. You have, a digital signature that follows you. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, so much of life is online now. And if you don't have something like Aura protecting you, well, then you just have a lot of your own personal information out there. And people that, are not very honest have access to that. There are data brokers on the dark web and just the regular internet that are out there finding your information, and then they're selling it to scammers and to, spam companies that, call you with stuff you don't want to hear about and send you emails. And, I have gotten very sick of getting spam, but the biggest thing is also scammers. They take that information and they get them from data brokers, and they use that information to try to scam you. I've been really surprised before when I've gotten calls from scammers how accurate the information that they had about me was, which, makes it seem like it's something legit when it's not. Well, I've had Aura for 8 months now, and I don't get spam calls anymore, and I haven't gotten calls from scammers in that 8 months. Aura is a really awesome service. You can set it up in a matter of minutes. It's very affordable. It gives you a VPN. It gives you, data broker removal. That's the big one to me. But all kinds of other services that help protect your privacy online, you get all that, and it's only $12 a month. But if you use my link down below, aura.com/sawtoothtactical, you get to try it out for free for 14 days. That's 2 weeks. See if you like it and decide if you want to keep it or not. Check it out, aura.com/sawtoothtactical. So to be fair, I have shot this gun a lot more than this one. I've owned it a lot longer. I've taken it out to the range many, many times. This one I've only had for a little while, but I've been shooting it as much as I can. I really believe in practicing with your carry gun. While carry guns might not be the most fun guns to shoot compared to something like, Springfield Prodigy, like a 2011 or something, they're the gun that you're most likely gonna have to maybe ever use, and so you better be pretty decent with that thing. Now, because of that, I've chosen carry guns that are not just tiny, they're small and they're thin, and so they're easy to carry, but they're not the smallest guns in the world, because I want to have something, again, that I can shoot well, that I can feel confident with. So, like I said, I've shot this one a lot more, but today I wanted to shoot them back to back, back and forth, mag through this one, a mag through this one, a mag through this one, a mag through this one. And that's what I did, and the results actually surprised me a little bit. Like I said, I thought that the carry comp was just going to be significantly better, because ever since I bought this thing, I've been pretty impressed with how it shot. It feels like a bigger gun when you're shooting it. Now, the grip does feel kind of thin, but it's bigger in this dimension than the P365 is, and so it fills your hand out a little bit better. And with a 4-inch barrel, and I carry it with a 13-round mag most of the time, but again, it also takes 15-round magazines. I mean, it's not really a tiny gun, but it does carry well. It's pretty easy. It's nice and lightweight. But I've felt, every time I've shot this, I've been pretty impressed with it. I felt like it shoots pretty good. And I'm sure that the compensator has something to do with that. But I've also felt like this gun shoots pretty good, especially after converting it from the little tiny micro P365 into this amalgamation of an XL grip module with the X Macro comp slide, especially with an optic and a light. Now, optics, I think, are important. I love having optics on my guns. I think it makes them, just makes it easier to shoot fast and accurate for me. But that's also because I practice with optics all the time. So what did I find today? I thought I started with this one, and then I went to this one each time. Mag through this one, mag through this one. And I thought that this one was going to be significantly better feeling than this one when I was shooting it, and it wasn't. In fact, I was a little bit surprised. The first couple mags, I thought this one felt better. So a lot of people, I think that the the X macro, the SIG style comps that they're doing aren't effective because, well, the barrel ends back here, and then it's just these kind of baffles, compensators, ports, whatever you want to call them, built into the slide only. Well, I'm here to say I do think that they work pretty well, because comparing comped carry gun to comped carry gun, this one felt really, really good. I'm going to shoot from a little bit farther back and see if I notice more of a difference. And that's not to say that this one didn't feel good. This one feels really good too. So I thought I was going to have a very clear winner today. And to be honest, I thought that that very clear winner was going to be the Shield Plus Carry Comp. It's a bigger gun. And again, it's a real compensator. You know what I mean? It's integrated into the barrel and the slide. And so I thought that that was going to be significantly more effective. And to be honest, it wasn't really. You'll see from the shooting footage in this video that honestly, I felt like I controlled the recoil a little bit better with the SIG. Now, there can be more reasons for that just than how effective the compensators are. Again, like I said, I have shot this SIG a lot more than the carry comp. I'm very used to this gun. It's, it just feels like home. It's something that I've carried for a couple years. I've shot it a ton. This one is kind of new to me, but it's an M&P. I've been shooting M&Ps forever. And it shoots pretty good. And I shoot, especially because of this YouTube channel, I shoot a lot of different pistols. And so I kind of have to be able to, go from one to another without me sucking with a new pistol, hopefully. Sometimes you just suck, or me. But anyway, point being, the first few mags through this surprised me after shooting this one because my sight picture seemed to move a lot more. Now they both have red dots. This one has the Holosun EPS Carry, and this one has the Holosun 407K. Now they both have very similar window sizes. This one's just enclosed emitter, this one's open emitter. But I felt like I was able to keep the dot in the window and on target better with the P365 build here. And so I don't want people to think that these integrated SIG comps aren't effective. For one, I am sure that they do tons of research and development, and I don't think that they would put this on so many guns if it wasn't effective. And I gotta say, after comparing the two of them today, I didn't find that this one was significantly more effective than this at, controlling muzzle rise and felt recoil. First two magazines with the Shield Plus Carry Comp were a 13 and a 15 round magazine. This is a 10 round magazine, which doesn't give you much room for your pinky. So hopefully the compensator makes up for that. Now again, that is not to say that this one does not shoot well. When you're comparing two really, I think, good carry guns, you're talking about slim margins here of differences. But it was noticeable to me today. So I absolutely love this Shield Plus Carry Comp, and we're going to continue to shoot this and carry it because I think that it does shoot very well, especially for its size. I feel like I shot pretty well today. Now, I didn't take it back to like ridiculously long distances, but at, regular self-defensive distances, I was pretty much hitting the steel almost every single shot. And, at times I was trying to shoot pretty fast because that's kind of when you're going to notice the compensator more. Now, I have a friend of mine that works at the local gun store here, shoots competitions, and I've talked to him about these comped guns. In fact, he carries a comped Springfield Hellcat Pro. And I think that we will bring that one on the channel at some point too, to also compare to these and see which one we think is best. Now, I have shot his Hellcat Pro comp, And I've also shot the original Hellcat Pro without the comp, and I felt like the original Hellcat Pro was very snappy, and the Hellcat Pro comp felt more like both of these guns. So I do think that these comps do make a big difference, and I don't think that these companies would be adding them to their carry guns if they didn't. So I think that it is a good purchase to go out and get one of these carry guns that has a built-in comp, whether it's the Hellcat Pro comp, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus carry comp, or, I built this out, but, the X Macro comp from Sig Sauer, P365. I do think that the comps make a difference, and I think that the place where they are probably have the most benefit is in a small carry gun. Now, I've shot some comped 2011s lately. I shot the Staccato XC. It's an amazing gun. But honestly, the difference was not as big as I would have thought between that and even just my Prodigy here, or a Staccato P, or other 1911s, 2011s, because those guns already shoot really flat and don't recoil very much, and they're just very easy guns to shoot. Well, small carry guns are not the easiest guns to shoot well, and so you always have to find that balance between a gun that is shootable, that you can be confident with, and, be effective with if you ever need to be, but also carryable, small enough to be comfortable and to not print. And so I think adding a compensator, especially an integrated comp where it's not really adding to your barrel length, especially with the SIG. Now, the original Shield Plus is a 3.1 inch barrel, which is about that long. This one has a 4-inch barrel to accommodate the compensator. So it did add to the barrel length on this one. But I don't notice the 4-inch barrel being excessively long and making any kind of a difference when I'm carrying this gun. Save my judgment till the very end, but I'm actually kind of surprised so far. I have shot the SIG a lot more. I've owned this gun longer, but I feel like the sight picture moves around more on the Shield Plus. I expected this one to be softer shooting than this one, and that doesn't seem to be the case. So I guess my point to this video is that you can't really go wrong with either one of these. I think the Shield Plus carry comp is really good. From the very first time I took it out and shot it, I felt like it shot like a bigger gun, which is what you want in your carry gun. Bigger guns are easier to shoot well. And if a gun feels like it shoots like a bigger gun, well, that's a good thing, especially if it carries like a smaller gun. Now this gun, if you look at it, it's not a very small gun. Again, in these dimensions. In this dimension it is. But it's pretty lightweight, and because it's thin, I can carry it all day and I barely notice it. Pretty much same thing with this one. Now it is a little bit shorter as far as slide and barrel and the grip. 12-round magazine, 13-round magazine. Although you can carry this with a 10-round if you want to. Although then that's just going to make it a little bit harder to shoot. And that is probably also where the compensator makes even more of a difference. So if you want deep concealment and the smallest grip possible, well, you're not going to have as much leverage on that grip with your pinky, and so that comp is going to matter even more, because your pinky is kind of what helps hold your gun down when it's recoiling and you're getting muzzle flip. So compensator really helps in that case. I think the added barrel length from 3.1 to 4 inches is negligible when it comes to carrying it, and it makes a big difference when it comes to shooting it. So I do think that either one of these is a great choice, but at the same time, I do have to give the edge to the SIG. And that actually, I don't know why, it kind of bugs me a little bit, because one of the big reasons that I bought this gun, and like I said, I've been out shooting it, not side by side with this, but I've been shooting it a lot. And I really like the way it shoots. But when I did shoot it back to back with the P365, I gotta say the P365 felt like it recoiled a little bit less, and my sights just stayed on target and came back onto target a little bit faster. So that was my findings today. Very scientific, I know. I mean, as scientific as they could be. Shot the same ammo out of both guns. They both have optics on them. They're both relatively small carry guns, and they both have compensators. They both shot really, really well for carry guns. Compared to when I had, my first carry gun, well, my second carry gun, third carry gun, but my first P365, that thing I felt like I couldn't hardly hit the broadside of a barn from any sort of distance. Well, I don't feel that way with this at all. And just a little bit bigger grip, a little bit bigger, longer slide, comp, light optic, seem to make all the difference in the world. And that light could have something to do with it too. Besides being able to light things up, another good benefit of a light is it does add weight to your muzzle, which again also helps control muzzle rise and felt recoil. And so maybe this one had an unfair advantage a little bit, and I did not take the light off to do this testing today. I wanted to test them both in the configuration that I carry them in. That's pretty good. But let me know down in the comments, do you carry a carry gun with a compensator? Do you carry a carry size gun? Or do you carry a bigger gun? Or do you carry a really small gun? And how do you feel about your ability to shoot it well? I would love to know. And if you have a carry gun that you think shoots better than either of these, the Shield Plus Carry Comp or the P365 with the X Macro Comp Slide, let me know what your favorite carry gun is. Because there's more things to consider than just shootability. When it comes to carry gun, you're not going to carry it if it's not comfortable to carry. So that matters very much too. You have to find that balance. And I think that these two guns have a really good balance of shootability, but also carryability. But if you've got a better one, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.